Welcome back to Marketing Uncensored. This is season 2, episode 1. We're done playing baseball and we're back. I'm Colin Slattery,
I'm Sam Tomlinson.
and we're here to have a good time. Maybe win a few rings. Go 72-10, the good stuff.
I'm here for it.
I think the audience is
Let's.
probably too young to get this reference, but we'll see.
They're definitely too young to get this reference, but it's okay.
Look it up, kids.
Anyway, let's get into this.
Yeah, let's dive right in.
I mean, there is there's no way we can start this season without talking about AI, right? We just can't do it.
I mean, I think it's probably ready for prime time or getting there anyway. That's certainly my experience. And I know it's your experience too.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been so good that Jack Dorsey decided to fire 40% of his workforce today.
In all lowercase, no less.
You know, there's no better way to say goodbye than you're not even worth a capital letter. I gave
The
you
real
the
question is,
minimum.
did he write that letter or did AI write that for him?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like AI would have bothered with the capitalization. There's no way. I mean, if he did not write this letter and if he instructed his AI to do it all in lowercase, Jack Dorsey, I was unfamiliar with your game and I owe you an apology.
Tip of the old cap.
I mean, but I guess real talk is number one, it does seem like AI is actually ready for something resembling, real game minutes. Maybe not, prime time, but they can get on the court.
Bench player.
Bench player, solid bench player. I mean, they got role players. They can, but, Tony Kukoc was a role player. Rodman was a role player. One of those
Don't
dudes in the
discount
Hall of
Rodman
Fame.
like that.
I mean, Rodman could have been more. Rodman was just fucked in the head. But
But
anyway.
Enough with the sports analogies.
All right. So we were talking about AI taking over the world.
Yeah. So I do have a fairly strong AI take. Maybe not that strong. And that is, if you read it on Twitter or LinkedIn, it's totally bullshit. No one is giving away free alpha, especially not for subscribing to the dog shit newsletter. So, yeah, the people who are really making money are keeping their mouths all the way shut about how they're doing it.
Yeah, I think that's right. Because the people that are smart enough to make money aren't stupid. Like, do we use AI in a lot of stuff? Yes. Am I out here talking about how we do it? Absolutely not. Do we have agents that do things? Yes. Or do we have like bits and functionalities and tools that are AI powered? Absolutely. Am I going to talk about them? No.
Well, and I think that is kind of the biggest challenge at the moment is that everyone who fucking yaps about it is making it seem like it's transforming everything, right? Like, set up OpenClaw and give him your bank info and he runs your business for you. And that's the hype. And everyone thinks that it's this massive savings, 50% or something. And then clients are like, oh, well, let's put downward pressure on your rates because you're nothing but an agent farm. And that is
That is
not the
not the
case.
case.
I
I think at best, what this does is as you're growing, what we have found, the true material impact is that it allows your labor cost plus agent cost, right? Because at this point, you can't just be like, oh, my payroll's going down, but my revenue is going like, no, because you do have a cost associated with this. And you have to remember that cost is essentially subsidized by VCs. So it's not that is not the locked in long-term cost, right? That cost increases at a slower rate than your top line or than your revenue. That's what it does. It enables enhanced additional productivity from your existing team members at a cost that is lower than additional junior staff.
That's true.
That's what it does.
I think it also increases the cost for top tier labor, right?
Yes.
And, if you're mediocre, you're dead. If you're junior,
Yeah.
you're also dead. But if you're top tier, and again, we hire those people all the time. I can't keep getting away with this, but somehow I do. They're really fucking expensive, and they're getting more expensive. So
Good.
you know, there is a there is savings getting realized, but the downward pressure on agency retainers has been something like 45% in terms of like fee compression over the last couple of years, and my costs have not got down 45%. I can guarantee
No.
you that.
No, but I think a lot of the fee compression is coming at the holdco level. Like, who really gets fucked here? Like, when you, honest to God, look at that, it's holdcos. It's the McCanns and the Havasses and the Monks and the S4 agencies of the world. Because 25% of their money flows up to the holdco to pay for the acquisitions. You know, they are inflated retainers. They are large. So yes, 45% on e-com retainer where you're doing full growth strategy, it's not there. 45% on the Pepsi account where you have, I don't know, 75 people billing at $400 an hour, 7 of whom are actually good. Yeah, there's 45% of waste you can cut there.
I mean, the downward pressure definitely trickles down. I know I've seen it in my
Yeah,
business, trying to renegotiate rates. I mean, there's definitely that downward pressure, which, again, I think is more related to expectations around the hype of
right.
AI and efficiencies versus the actual cost of delivery.
Yeah, we've only had a few of those conversations, but they were nowhere near 45%.
Yeah. And to be
This was
fair,
like, you know, can we, adjust an annual increase? Yeah, sure, we can talk about that.
I mean, we've definitely not seen it to that degree, but, you know, the conversations that we have, especially new business, even some current clients, definitely push back on rates, which, you know, not
Yeah,
not good for not good for
not good
the
for business, but I mean, the other question is how much of that is AI driven versus how much of that is macro driven, right? Like, it's pretty clear we're near the top of a cycle, right? Like,
I mean, it's felt that way for a while though, so who knows?
if we knew, we wouldn't be talking to you all good people. We would both be
I
on a beach with more money than God. At least I
well,
would be. I
I'm on a beach though, so I'm 1 for 2 on that.
was gonna say you're 1 for 2, but you're still trying to buy an ice company, all right? Let's be real. We have not achieved 2 yet.
We
2 is
have
in
not.
progress.
Yes, a
I mean,
work in progress.
look, I think from a practical level, AI makes your best people more productive, more efficient, and more potent.
Yes, it's, human conductors of robot orchestras, right? You still need a
Yep,
great conductor.
correct. And you still need a great composer, right? Like, a great conductor with shit music is going to make a shit orchestra, even though the conductor is fantastic. The music sucks. The music sucks. Um,
Yep.
so those are distinctly human functions, and they are becoming more and more valuable.
Yeah, and
But
ultimately, it's gonna split, right? Where, like, there's gonna be a
mm,
small group of incredibly well-paid, incredibly skilled people who can use the AI tools that exist, and then there's gonna be the people who get replaced by AI.
yeah, it's bad news to be in blue collar jobs.
Well,
I mean,
low
you got to
low
figure out,
tier
like,
white collar jobs.
low tier white collar is bad, but I feel like if you get replaced out of low tier white collar, where do you go? Because you probably, presumably, still need like money. And it's not like the US government's in any position to be cutting people checks every month.
You
So
start an HVAC company and sell it to a private equity roll up for
that's what I'm saying.
10x EBITDA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, best places to go is going to be home services and trade skills and probably healthcare. So good news. AI might actually bring down healthcare costs and home services costs, which are, by the way, completely insane.
Waste manufacturing. It's another good line.
Well, if you can't get into the golf glove business, get into the ice making business.
Hey, why not both?
Why
Why
not
not
both?
both?
But I guess
Yeah.
if we want to give some real talk on this, like aside from giving specifics, which we're not going to do, like I'm not giving away trade secrets. What are some of the things, like some of the basic ideas of stuff that you can use AI for?
So we use it all the time. And I think the best use cases are outside of core delivery functions that still require human skill, right? So using it in marketing, content generation, idea generation, anything where 100% accuracy is not required, right? So you have 100,000 customer reviews, you need ideas for like ads to make. Great for that. Like if it gets some of it wrong, it's fine, right? Like don't ask it to make the blueprints of an aircraft. Like that's not a good use case. Um, but anything that's much softer and 80% of the way there is good enough is, I think, perfect from a use case standpoint. And that's typically where we're using it too.
Yeah, that's about. I mean, we use it there. I use it all the time to like summarize stuff. I'm like, this is like, there's like a 19 email conversation here. Like, I need you to go through all this and give me like the cliff notes of what I need to know. And it does that pretty effectively. So that's nice. I think it takes a lot of the mental busy work, like you said, that sifting through reviews, that's mental busy work. Like it can do that faster than you. We use it for competitor research all the time. Does it need to be perfect? No, it just needs to tell me what the right offer is on the website. If something looks weird, we can always go double check it, but it's pretty damn good. So I think those are really good use cases. I think the agents are fun for content generation and content like outline creation. It definitely expedites that, but the finished product is almost must be human made in order for it to
Yeah.
not to pass muster.
Well, and that's like one of the biggest time savers for me, and I'll actually share, what we do is uh it mines for social media content. So I have a bot that I built that will once a week look at all the new call transcripts, look at any new blog posts that were published on our website, and look for podcast episode recordings and get transcripts of those. And then it will come up with 10 ideas from each piece for content to go out. And then it kicks it to an editor, and the editor scores the pieces. And then anything that's, in the editor's opinion, a 7 out of 10 or better, it pushes it into buffer for me to then review, refine, and then send out. So it's like automatically once a week, I get, 50 to 150 decent enough ideas for social media to post, right? And saves me a lot of time. I'm still doing the majority of the finalized writing, but it pulls all that stuff together for me. Probably
Yeah.
saves me a couple hours a week.
Yeah, I do something similar for social. I have it, like you said, mine certain sectors, come up with ideas, go back through all the newsletters I've written, find out, like, because I probably have written something that's related to the thing. So it's like, okay, good. Brings it back, surfaces it. Here's what we said before. Here's the suggested post, pushes it to a second agent that edits and curates, pushes it to a third that's from the audience. It's programmed off of the target audience for the post, and it reviews it. And then if it's good, I'll look at it and adjust it and make it the way I want it and publish. All right, so the death of agencies, a little overblown. The rise of AI, slower than you might have expected.
Also a little overblown.
Correct. But there are real use cases. People are figuring those things out, but don't believe what you read on Twitter and never believe LinkedIn.
Correct.
Pretty much like evergreen content right there.
And since we're talking about AI and ads, how about ads and AI?
What could be better? I'm
Honestly, not much.
I mean, I understand that people are a little hesitant about these ChatGPT ads and the $60 CPM seems high. I mean, for search, $60 is a dream.
Totally
So,
normal.
yeah,
We ran an analysis, and again, we're ecom primarily, which is lower CPCs, and our Google search CPMs were like $54. So
yeah, that's
AI
normal.
ads at $60, seem great. It's
Yeah, there's no issue.
contextual. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, right? If these things generate clicks at a, 4-5% rate, which is not going to be uncommon, right? Then all of a sudden, what you're really talking about is 50 clicks for $60. Okay. You're at a dollar, what, 13? Yeah, you're at a $1.20 for a click. Okay. You're telling me that,
And this is
uh,
prime contextual, like, who's the best HVAC company in New York City? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's a bargain at twice the price. Like, the only hesitation that I'm having with these right now is the minimums, which they are not talking about. The minimums are a little ouchy.
and the lack of measurement, but you can measure that outside of the platform. So
Right. You can figure it out outside the platform. I mean, the optimization algorithm is going to be shit, but really what you're going to get is essentially like high quality traffic at a fraction of its true value while OpenAI validates the system. Then Microsoft will come in and ruin it. But for a brief period of time, it will be beautiful.
I think so. I truly do. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be a great return at the $60 CPM. I think the headline number, you know, people who are concerned about the headline number don't understand what the offering actually
Right.
is.
This is why I have an issue with so many of the reporters in tech. We're like $60 CPMs versus Meta's 20. Well, what you type into an LLM asking it to do for you is fundamentally different than you doom scrolling Instagram. Fundamentally different intents, fundamentally different values to both the business and the customer.
Yeah, you're literally asking the AI for the specific thing you want, and
Exactly.
then you're serving an ad that says, "Hey, I'm that thing you want." Like,
Right. I mean,
very
and,
different value prop.
we do a lot of work in the lead gen space, right? So we are, legal, home services, real estate, finance, and financial technologies, B2B, like B2B SaaS. So the CPMs that we pay on search are much higher, but I have clients right now active where the CPM on paid search is $970,000.
What personal injury subclass is that?
Depends on the vertical, but a lot of work accidents, work injuries, number one, in certain dangerous professions that may or may not be featured on a fantastic Paramount show. Truck accidents and truck injuries all the time.
I mean, I know personal injury when
Offshore.
I smell it.
I mean, offshore injury for sure. But then, like, we have $100,000 CPMs on B2B SaaS all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot tell me that North Beam would not want to pay a $60 CPM when someone types in what's the best attribution platform for ecom businesses.
For sure.
Like,
They would. Because I mean,
absolute no brainer.
imagine they only get a 5% click through rate, which for a super relevant non-branded search is really low, right? And say that of those, all those people that you get, you convert 1%. That's $120 cost per customer for
Which
a
I
product
can
that
guarantee you
costs.
North Beam is happy with that.
Yeah, like I don't even know what Northbeam's lowest subscription tier is, but I'm pretty sure they are break even before month 3 on that.
It's a few $1,000s, I think.
Okay, so
So
they are
a
break
month.
even on like day 2,
That's right. Yeah.
maybe day 3 if they give a discount.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So I mean, I wish I
It's
could get an allocation of that ad spend personally.
for sure. I mean, I can get you one. The minimums that I've been quoted are quarter mil
I
per
mean,
month.
all right. Well, we'll get Sean on here. We could get some bridge
Yeah,
wallets and
yeah. Let's get
chat
some. Yes,
GPT.
yes. Sean or Panzer. Get some Hexclad. Let's get some Gordon Ramsay up in this.
Give the best pans for making scrambled eggs.
Oh, Gordon. One of the things that he does do well is make scrambled eggs.
I don't want to go off on a scrambled egg
I don't
tangent.
want to either, but it feels real
Although
tempting.
Jose Andres is the guy who like is apparently the scrambled eggs professional.
All right. Well, I guess I have to go to Jose Andres restaurant and we'll give those things a try just for funsies. So I don't think it's a big deal. I think it is only a matter of time before Google rolls this out in Gemini. I mean,
Absolutely. I
they
mean,
already did run the pilot in Q4 of 2024, and then they brought it back for some shopping in 2025 in a limited distribution. So the ads are coming for AI mode.
a- and again, if you're an advertiser, it makes great sense. It's, I think, one of the, and again, targeting aside, or like assuming the targeting works, one of the absolute best places that you can potentially be and will absolutely be a cash cow for these AI companies. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not concerned because people have talked about, oh, who's going to trust an ad in AI? And I'm like, people don't even know they're ads. People click on ads on Google and they have no idea that they're ads. That's why they click on them, right? Like, eh, no one's going
Or
to look for the tiny little ad bubble.
no.
Like,
But even like more fundamentally than that, I guess the question is, do you actually care if it's an ad? And like for me, the answer is no. If the content of your ad is what I need, I don't give a shit. Clicky clicky. I'm not trying to do more work than I have to. Like, let's be real. I don't think most people care. Like most people know that like creator posts or influencer posts are sponsored. That doesn't mean they don't buy. They still do. They know that it's sponsored. They know that they know, and they still buy because the content is relevant to them and what is being offered, the product, the service, the whatever, is what they want.
I think
Who
you
gives a fuck?
overestimate the average consumer, but I don't disagree with your premise.
Like my 4-year-old daughter, true story. My 4-year-old daughter was on Instagram for a second because she was looking at pictures of her cousins. In between like the pictures of her cousins that she was looking at, an ad popped up. She goes, "Mommy, look, it's an ad. They want this. They want you to buy this." I was like, "Do you like it?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, cool." Went back to school because my 4-year-old knew, like, oh yeah, this thing that was interrupting me seeing pictures of my cousins was an ad, but I kind of like it. And yeah, I think mommy would look good in it. Maybe we should buy it.
I mean, I think your 4-year-old is materially smarter than the average consumer, Sam. So
I think my 4-year-old probably is too, but I'm a little biased. My point is, like, you don't, like, people know that shit's paid for. Like, they don't want to admit it to themselves, but whatever. Like, it's fine. Gets the job done, makes the economy run. Click on those ads. The world would be a better place if more people clicked on ads.
buy more stuff. We have lots of stuff to sell.
Exactly. So just do that. And then we have the AI platform wars, which is ChatGPT is getting their ass kicked in to no one's surprise.
I have not used ChatGPT in,
Months.
yeah, maybe close to a year. I know in our first pod, we talked about how bullish we were on Gemini and Google's going to win the AI race. And between Google and Claude, ChatGPT is a distant third, in my opinion.
Fourth.
Are you Team Grok?
I have been using Grok a little bit. just to see. I keep hearing how good it is, and it's actually been really good. I even downloaded the app a couple weeks ago because it was good.
Wow.
Like solid work from Grok.
Satya Nadella not having a great investment time with his open AI
I mean,
investment.
this is just what Microsoft does. They're the world's best loser. They
They've
just
lost
don't
to a great
win.
market cap, but
But I mean, even if you're like, oh, I'm 100% Team Claude, guess who owns 15% of Anthropic?
Google.
Google. Google sure does. Guess who sells Anthropic their servers? Google, increasingly. Isn't that fantastic?
I mean, again, hate buying on their platform because they keep feeding me more shit. But happy Google shareholder.
I was
So
saying, I'm a very happy Google shareholder. And I would love to thank all the people that push their shares into like the $90 range. Thank you. I appreciate you.
yeah, it's been a good year and a half or
Mm-hmm.
so.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, I still think Google's going to win this race because they just have the distribution mode. I think Claude carves out its place as a power user. But depending on how this whole Pentagon thing plays out with Claude not wanting to give the Pentagon like crazy tools, I feel like that's one where Google will just step in and be like, we built you special Gemini.
Yeah. I
We're
mean,
going to,
Google also invented all this shit. Like, it
yeah,
literally came out of Google Labs and
yeah,
15, 20 years ago.
yeah. Google's going to go develop like an AI model, call it Ares, and sell it to the Department of War. That's what's going to happen.
Uh, War is great business, apparently.
Well, the great thing about the war is that it's not a business. It's just a economic exploitation of the human condition for as long as
Wow.
people have been
We went
alive.
philosophical here.
Isn't it great? Yeah. Come for the marketing takes, stay for the philosophy. All right. But anyway, they did come from marketing takes, so we should give them a few. All right. So last section, the tactical 10. Isn't that a cool
The
name?
tactical 10.
What's working, what's not, and we're going to do it in 8 minutes because we're walking contradictions.
The tactical 10 in 8.
I know. I love it, right? Anyway.
So what do we got?
All right. Of late, what has actually been useful for us? Number one, lots of, not a surprise, but a lot of founder ads or CEO ads have been crushing across the board. Does not matter the industry. Uh, we have actually persuaded a lot, it's like CEOs, presidents, owners, founders to record ads actually advocating for their business, and they work for some reason. I mean, I
It's
guess it's
so
because
easy.
it is. Like, you don't have to make it perfect, but
Also, and if these are on like Facebook and Instagram, either whitelisted through the founder's account or some secondary
yep,
account for them.
it's
Perfect.
beautiful. But that leads me to my second point, which is I genuinely think having a CEO or president or founder who is willing and able to be the public face of your brand is a massive competitive advantage that is not talked about enough.
I mean, Elon is kind of the perfect example of that, right? Where like he has a massive and has built a massive following for himself, and that has allowed him to grow much larger organically than he would have otherwise. Like Tesla
Correct.
didn't even advertise for 15 years or 20 years or something.
Yeah, they did
Like
marketing, but they didn't correct buy ads.
it was like Elon driving volume, right?
Mm-hmm.
And any founder, any CEO can do that, not to that same degree necessarily, but
It's not
we're in
hard.
a media and content economy. And if you're not producing it, it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, I spend hours every day just working through content because, to your point, content economy, make more content. All right. That was thing one. Thing two has been on Meta specifically, lookalikes. No idea why, but lookalikes of top performing customers, exclude the customers, exclude the seed audience. Beautiful. Scales up, cost per acquisition, 20, 30% below a broad audience. I love it.
this is not meta, and I know I've been banging this drum. You've been banging this drum.
The YouTube drum? Are we
YouTube.
getting out YouTube? Okay. Yes.
Yes, we are getting out YouTube. For the love of God, people need to be spending on YouTube.
For
Also,
sure.
YouTube recently introduced boosting. So
Yes.
you can boost videos on YouTube and like you can get subscribers for free. Like subscriber cost per subscribers of 20 cents, 50 cents, like free. And YouTube subscribers are the best possible subscribers that you can have.
Yeah, they're
Like,
fantastic.
eh, like I understand that YouTube is hard to measure to a degree, but it is so good. So good.
And it's
I feel like I'm James Franco right now. Like, it is
but
so good.
it is a platform that is more targeted than Meta at this point. Let's just be honest, because YouTube gives you more
Absolutely.
targeting options, more robust targeting options, more granular targeting options, and a broader diversity of targeting options than Meta does at this point. Just facts. It is one
Not even
third to
close.
one quarter the cost on a
And
CPM
on some
basis.
place and on some placements, it's like
One tenth the cost. I mean,
yeah.
I have YouTube ads right now in market with a $2.34 CPM.
And if you go in stream, like even less.
It's beautiful. Meta's $20. So we're 1/9, 1/10 the cost.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's crazy.
And
Shorts.
you don't
Excellent
need,
product.
yeah, you don't need more ads, which is the thing I think everybody gets confused about. Like, you're making all this shit for Meta. Take your top performing ads on Meta or just don't and put them on YouTube. Like, you don't have to make different content for YouTube. I mean, you should have longer form content, to be very clear, but take
And
your ads from Meta
and
and start them
six
on
and
YouTube.
16:9 in some place, but like the shorts placement,
The shorts placement's great.
it's better than TikTok. It only needs your meta assets.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to spend thousands of dollars a day.
Yeah,
You're
TikTok
welcome.
slop, right? That's an easy one. The other one we're having some success with in niche verticals has been Reddit. Of all things,
Okay.
anything that's high consideration, high research, or the industry tends to admit of information asymmetries between seller and buyer, Reddit has been fantastic. So what I mean by the last one is like, we did one for a home services company, right? Reddit's fantastic because, like, you own a home, I own a home. How much do you know about replacing an HVAC system?
Nothing.
Yeah, me neither. It's not on my it's not in my working knowledge of the universe. So when an HVAC person comes out and is like, it's going to be $24,000 to replace your one system in your house, where do I go? Gemini first, Reddit second. I was like, all right, this is what I got. Tell me what's going on. And sure enough, like, multiple ads on Reddit, it's great. You're getting to people who have a specific problem, a specific pain point that you can address. You just have to pick the right subreddits. And if you do, you have this whole audience of people that are just coming there because they have a problem that your client or your brand, if you're the advertiser, can solve. It's great. And the cost for Reddit ads is like the cost for YouTube ads. It's like nothing. I mean, there are the happy fun side effects of Reddit, which are like, trolls and dicks and moderators being assholes, and people on Reddit can kind of earn their reputation. But
Hey, if the product works, spend money.
yeah, I think there's not many advertisers in the world who won't deal with a little bit of bullshit for a $5 CPM
Especially
on
if it's got
relevant
a return.
traffic. Yeah, with relevant traffic, that's going to produce a return. I think the keys to making it work, though, are just you need to have a product or service where there's a specific subreddit or a set of specific subreddits. That's really the thing. Like, if you have a golf glove brand, which you do, there are entire subreddits dedicated to golf equipment. Like, that's a good place to put that. If you're like, we do everything
Note
and
to self.
we want to advertise everywhere. Like, don't just go fucking full bore on Reddit. Like, that's going to go poorly for you. We had a GPU rental client that printed money because there was like 9 subreddits of, live in their basement mom coders who were trying to rent cheaper GPUs. And we're like,
A GPU rental company.
yep.
Okay.
You know,
that is a 2026 business if ever I heard one.
they make so much money. It's literally just like a marketplace where you can rent GPUs, and it is wild
Note to self.
of business. But I mean, it makes sense. People need compute. Getting your hands on the latest NVIDIA servers is hard. They have them. Good news. Data centers have excess compute. Sell it to this. They monetize their excess demand. It's basically Airbnb for GPUs without the shitty hosts and cleaning fees.
Yeah. You lost me at Airbnb.
Yeah. I think the last one that's been fantastic for us has been email. Like, I think email is making a huge, I think people have taken email for granted for a long time. Like, they knew it worked, but they didn't know how good it.
We see great returns from our email. We do it ourselves. Great for the brand. It's, you know, people live in their inboxes and
Yeah.
meet them where they are.
Pretty simple. It just works. Like, I think people, too many marketers were like, no, 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 ads, ads, ads. I'm like, no, send some email. Always send email. Email plus ads is magic.
You can even put ads in email.
All right. So that's kind of where we're at, right? All right. So that's it for the first episode of season 2. We're back next week. No idea what we're going to talk about yet, but I'm sure something is going to happen on the internet that requires us to talk about it. If you like it,
comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and
yeah, hit us up on Twitter. We can argue about it.
give us ideas for content. We'll make it for you.
Yeah. Perfect. See you next week.
Peace.